All right, I am safe. Go no go tracker is green. Time hack. Time will be 14:50 in 50 seconds. Mission data card will be Jedi 55. You'll be in the front seat. I'll be in the rear cockpit. Scheduled takeoff time is 15:30 Zulu with a land time of 16:45. We'll be in OFT 2. Brief time is now 9:15. Step times 10:15. Mission durations 1.3. Chalk time 17:15. 25 seconds. Takeoff runway will be 7 right. Takeoff roll will be 1,500 feet. Our aborted takeoff on a dry runway will be the same as rotate. Speed 15 seconds. For a wet runway, it'll be 83. Planning on a dry runway takeoff though. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hack time now is 14:16 Zulu. Heavyweight no flap landing distance on a dry run will be 2,700 feet. Wet will be 4,000. Don't require an alternate today. Our weather for the profile is clear skies, greater than 7 statute miles visibility. Route winds are 330 at 30 knots. Surface winds will be 070 at 6. The mission is a C-3101. Flight plan of NPA 730. Which is basically we're just going to take off out of here, go up to the MOA, and come right back and on course rolls and land. Our Joker fuel today will be the same as Bingo, and Bingo fuel will be 275 from standards. The overall mission objective is mainly checklist completion, local area procedures, doing radio calls, make sure we got our ground ops good, make sure we can handle course rolls coming back. And then we're going to see a cross section of contact maneuvers and boldface procedures. My training objectives are going to be 0 errors during strap-in, 0 errors with checklist challenge and response callouts, and not needing any IP prompting. 0 errors directing the TAS throughout the day. There's no special service requirements, no special interest items. FCIF, the most current one is 2322, which is a change in the primary UCISO syllabus. NOTAMs, we have nothing significant for the area. TFRs, there's nothing nearby. Everything's out in Mayport and Cape Canaveral. AHAS is showing low for Pensacola and pretty much the MOA as well. The EP of the day is fire in flight. I'll perceive that in my cockpit by seeing a fire warning light. To maintain aircraft control, I expect the pilot to turn towards the nearest suitable field, climb the aircraft to trade altitude for airspeed, and make sure that we're clean. To analyze the situation, we will confirm whether we have fluctuating fuel flow, hydraulic fluid, or oil pressure. Excessive ITT, visual indications like smoke and flames, erratic operation noticed on N1, torque, NP, and then any roughness, meaning we feel something. If we can confirm the fire, then boldface applies. Boldface is PCL off, firewall shut-off handle pull. Other actions we will need to do to take appropriate actions are going to be to call approach and to break out the checklist and do any cleanup items involved. So for the fire in flight, if our fire extinguished, we will execute a forced landing. If the fire doesn't extinguish or we can't do a forced landing, then we will eject. If we can't confirm the fire, then we'll PEL execute. And then we'll land as soon as conditions permit. All right, covered step, takeoff time, mission objectives, special syllabus, overview, weather, Joker and Bingo fuels told, FCIF, All right, ORM. So for ORM, we have 1 point for first ride and block.
That's what I was doing yesterday. But the thing is, it's on the backside of the engine.
Another point for sleep quality fare, and another point for prior night's sleep. So in all, we have 1 mission point and then 2 human points. And so authority will be the aircraft commander. All right, aircraft sign out is standard. Crew coordination, aircraft commander, transfer aircraft control, clearing, in-flight checks, radio procedures, and PCL movement are all standard. CRM. CRM today will be crew flight coordination, and that's our ability to discuss all the issues with the aircraft today, just kind of paraphrasing what it has here. Make sure that we have an open cockpit, we're communicating whenever we have changes in the situation, or just as normal flow, especially with checklists and so forth. How that applies to today's flight is, in order to get you to turn, I'll turn the heading bug. I will direct all the climbs and descents, and direct all the speeds at level off, as an example of crew coordination. Emergency procedures, all standard. Pilot, what are the takeoff emergencies?
Son of a. I've never done that kind of thing. Trust me, I can. The best thing I did though. Yeah, there it is. Sometimes that's what it takes. Walk away, go back.
All right, physiological incidents are standard. Bird strike standard, electrical fire standard, engine failure standard. Ejection are controlled and uncontrolled ejection altitudes. Controlled would be 2,200 feet MSL, and uncontrolled would be 6,200 feet MSL. Visual signals standard. Lost comms, lost procedures are standard. Emergency divert fields. All right, out in the MOA, we have Jack Edwards in the south, Barron and Summerdale, and Foley all in the central part of the area, and Sunny Callahan will be on the west side of the MOA. A little bit further off to the west is going to be Mobile International, and a little bit out of the north is Bay Minette if we can't make it to one of those other fields. All right, simulated emergency procedures. IMC procedures are all standard. Ground ops are all standard. Takeoff is all standard. Departure is all standard. Training rules. All right, in summary, minimum altitudes for aerobatics, stalls, slow flight, or confidence movers, 6,000 feet. AGL, spins, 13,000 feet, 13,500 feet MSL, and will ensure spinning stops by 10,000 feet. Minimum weather for all those maneuvers is going to be clear clouds, 3 nautical miles visibility, and we have to be able to maintain a discernible horizon. All right, area work. Once we get up there, we are planning. Actually, I'll just go through. We'll just chair fly what we're doing today. All right, taking off runway 7 right. In order to get out to the runway, we'll taxi via either Bravo 1, Bravo 2 to Bravo, most likely to Charlie, then to Alpha. We'll have to get clearance across the runway. 7 right is 8,000 feet, 200 feet wide, and we have barriers. All right, the barriers for 7 right are 1,300 feet off the approach end and 1,449 feet off the departure end. On departure, we will fly runway heading, climb into 800 feet until we hit 1 DME. 1 DME will turn to 150. 1.5 will climb to 3,000 and then await direction out to the MOA. Once we get out to the MOA, we'll complete all our checklists, and then the maneuvers we're going to do are power on stall and contact recoveries. For power on stalls, we'll set up approximately 160 knots, make sure we get our clep check done. Power will be 30-60%, pitch will be 15 to 40 degrees. If we're doing a straight ahead, no angle of bank, but if we are doing a turning version, we'll do 20 to 30 degrees. We will recognize the stall via uncommanded nose drop or roll. When I recognize that, I'll yell recover. Pilot, I expect you to initiate recovery procedures, which is max power, relax the back stick, and roll towards wings level. For contact recoveries, we'll do 3 kinds. We'll do inverted, which will be simply to return the, I'll yell recover. Pilot, you'll return the aircraft, roll it upright. For a nose high, I'll yell recover. We will set the power as required, most likely needing max power. We will roll and pull the aircraft towards the nearest horizon. Once we get to the nearest horizon, we'll roll it upright. For a nose low, we'll set power as required. Most likely we'll need to reduce power. We'll roll the wings level first, and then we'll pull the aircraft using available G's to get the aircraft back in the least altitude lost. Once we're done in the area, we will head, we'll coordinate to go to course rules via Jack Edwards. For course rules, we will cross Jack Edwards at or above 3,500, 250 knots, and fly heading 065 as we cross Jack Edwards to head towards Wolf Field. Once we cross Wolf Field, we turn to 105 towards Point Gulf. At Point Gulf, we'll turn to 080 and align with the appropriate runway. At 3 DME, we'll descend to 3,000 or 1,300 feet. And brake direction is to the right for 7 right, left for 7 left. For landing on 7, we will most likely get off the runway at either Alpha 3, possibly Bravo. If we're landing 7 left, then we'll need to get clearance to cross the runway. From Alpha 3, we would take Alpha, left on Bravo, and then enter the ramp at Bravo 2. All right, covered runway length, pattern altitude, procedures restrictions, covered our recovery. Visual illusions, we'll have PAPIs on the left, 2 parallel runways. We'll make sure we're lining up on the wrong runway. There's also a crossing runway, and we'll make sure we avoid any of those illusions. Barrier locations, we talked about. All taxi routing, we've talked about. Alternate mission profile doesn't apply. Personal items, make sure to remove jewelry, make sure we got everything tied up, and make sure our cell phones are off.